Hi everyone, this is Marianela Leiva. This is my final record for the final test of communication, oral communication, one of the first courses of the career. And the topic is coronavirus. I have to be honest, this is a word that I hate. It's a word that I don't like even to pronounce. Have a bad feelings for me. Even when this situation touched me a lot of things, but I don't like the word actually. It's like shocking for me. Almost a year ago, we were listening the news about this virus. It sounds like too far from here, something that is happening in China and is not going to be in Costa Rica. We are not going to be affected by this problem, as sometimes may happen, for example, with worms or some issues that another countries or another location has to face, and we just got the information through the television, but not at this time. We were part of the problem too. The day passed and I was afraid. I was afraid when I started realizing that the problem is now over China, is in another countries. Some other countries are preparing for that. How can be managed if China has to build a completely hospital in a few days? What's going on? What we are going to do? We don't have that capability, so I becomes like scared. I was in Terramol the day that I read the news about the first case in Costa Rica, and I felt like dizzy. I felt like, oh my God, it's here. What we are going to do? How we can face this? I felt bad at that point. I was in the middle of something, and I take a minute to rest and to analyze, well, what can I do? No, actually at that point I couldn't do anything. I was like in shock. We have some health issues or topics in the family, and with this virus, my first thought was, well, how can we protect each other? My mother is in the elder age, and she also has diabetes, so she was the first on my mind. And also we have to take care because some problems, etc. So I was like scared, confused, and well, was hard at that point. I remember that I went to my mother's place on March. Now that I'm thinking about it, it was early at the situation, but I went to my mother's place on a Tuesday, and I gave to her a big hug, and also to my brother. And I told them, I don't know how many times we are going to spend without this kind of interaction. I work for a pharmaceutical company, and we have been receiving information about how difficult the things may be if we are affected by the virus. So I was scared, and I remember that I took my lunch time that day for that. So after that, we take some decisions. Because my mom works, she has a tiny grocery store at home. So the first decision was to create a barrier, create something to protect her. And the first step was to create something that may help her. The second decision was to close. I tried to close the store. God knows that I tried to close it, but my mother didn't accept. So we closed a part of the store. So we adapted to help her to continue with the business, but keep it far from the people, keep it with the required distance and with something through she and the people that she's attending. So we create a barrier, etc. And and also try to make that change in our minds, the change that the mindset that we have to be protected, that we have to use a face mask, and that we cannot go outside as easy as we used to. Thanks God, they learned and they understood after a few weeks, because at the beginning was too hard. My brother, for example, he didn't pay attention of what I asked him for. He didn't want to close the store. He didn't want to make the changes. But after a few weeks, he understood, and he also helped me with that. And especially, we have to take a decision. She was studying. My youngest brother is studying at the university, so he was studying and working. He worked in a call center to pay the university. And after the first change that they have was that seeing that she has asthma. Well, he used to suffer asthma in the past, so the first decision by his company was like, at many companies, the people who had some respiratory troubles may keep at home for a few weeks. So they sent my brother to an obligated vacation time off for keep him safe. After 1 month staying at home, they sent an extension of that, so he spent 2 months without salary at home. And at that point we have to decide. He was helping my mom, and that's like a really good for me, because she wasn't in contact with the people, and she was taking care he was taking care of her. But she had to return to work because he had to pay the university. So as a family, my oldest brother and I, we took the initiative, and we decided that he must quit his job and continue just with the university. That is a hard decision, because we have to afford the payment, but it was something that we need at that point, so we did it. And then professional, it was a mess. I had to move to work at home. I became a teacher, a cooker, a housekeeper, etc. My husband worked as a civil engineer, so the business had some stoppers at that point. They have to stop some works. They lost some of the projects that they were working on. And well, we have like a time to adapt and to organize our ideas. And also I become flexible, because in the past I don't like to be in a meeting listening people, dogs, babies, etc. And now that we are all under this modality, I understood that we have to work with that. This is the new normal, and we have to adapt. So I became flexible for that. My family that is not part of my bubble, my mother, brother, and then my youngest sister and her daughter, they live in a house together, so they are another bubble. So we have to handle how can we work with this. Who is going to keep the sense? Who is going to work as a leader? Who is going to work as a provider? Who is going to do the sales? What are the steps that we have to follow? I and my husband, we decide that we are not going to visit my mother or or his parents, because of the risk that we implicate, as my husband worked with so many people that was sick. So we decided to keep up in a separate bubble. So it's been hard for me, especially because I am too close to my family, but that was a decision that we took, and this is something that we still respect 8 months later. A great point. Why did I learn from this? I learned that I love my family more than what I thought. I learned that I was losing the time. Now I try to remember when my baby was 1 year old, and it's hard to remember for me. I wasn't here when he started to walk, when he started to learn how to eat alone. I lost a lot of great moments, and now that I'm here, I'm feeling that. And now I learned that I want to be here. It doesn't matter if I have to work here. It doesn't matter if I have to be in a call, if I have to be in a meeting, if I have to do something on the computer. I'm here. And every time that I have a few seconds or minutes free, I can give a hug to my baby. And also, we are having lunch together all the days. That's something amazing for me. I also learned that I don't need to be physically present, because, for example, in the past I only went to my mother's place on Sundays, and we have a great time and we are really close. But now we talk every day. We talk in the mornings, and we usually have a call. We have a second call daily in the afternoons, to check how they are and to keep informed about what they are doing, how they are handling. I'm more aware of her physical and mental health. I have never considered if she was stressed or something. Now I'm more worried about it. I'm more aware about it, because I want to keep it safe but health also. And also we start to trust in God, and just wait. And what's going on? Well, I'm afraid that we are not at the turning the corner to be out of this. This is something that we have to face for at least 1 year, I think. When it starts on March, I remember that I talked with my mom and I told her it's not for 3 months. In 3 months we are going to face the worst part. In 3 months we are going to see how the economic is going down, and it happened. After 3 months, I told her this is not something that we are going to see how it finish in 3 more months. This is something that is going to be with us for at least 1 year, and is what we are expecting. So this is something that we have to live with for at least 1 year. So what we have to do, what we can do: use the mask, keep the distance, take care of the more take care of the people that we love, take care of the people that may be more affected if they got this health problem. Do our part, try to help the people who need, try to contribute with the economy, try to share what we have with the people that is needing, and that's all. Wait, we are going to get vaccines in the future, in some months, maybe in 1 month or 1 year, who knows. It's going to depend of the pharmaceuticals capability to produce the vaccine. So keep it safe, take care of your family, and be aware that this is something that is going to help us as a society to stay together, separate but together, more together than ever, as a team, as a society. And well, enjoy this time. This is maybe a unique opportunity. It's going to be, for me, for example, is the only opportunity that I ever had to stay at home for as many days as I am, and I'm enjoying, and I don't want to lose that. I want to keep this modality, and also I hope to have the opportunity to hug my family again in a few weeks. So thank you, teacher. It is a hard topic for me. This is something that I avoid to talk. I prefer to focus on the work from home opportunities and the advantages that we may get and everything. It's hard for me to talk about it because, as I mentioned before, I'm so close with my family and I want to be here with them, etc. But thank you for the opportunity to talk. It was a pleasure to be in your class. Have a great holidays and Happy New Year. Vaccine, please. Bye. Hugs.